As we enter 2026, there are a variety of new things on the horizon coming to the Walt Disney World Resort later this year. While work will still be continuing forward with Disney's major expansion projects slated to open in the coming years, there's still plenty for us to look forward to this year. In fact, one of the parks we can expect to see debut a number of new things this year is at the Magic Kingdom, as a variety of projects, both big and small, begin to wrap up. With all that being said, let's take a look at everything coming to the Magic Kingdom specifically later this year in 2026. Beginning today's video in the far corner of Frontierland, let's talk about a project that has been taking place for well over a year now, with that being Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Since my last time covering this major refurbishment taking place at the attraction, we've seen a lot of steady progress occur over the months as Disney aims for a reopening time frame of this spring. As a quick refresher, Big Thunder Mountain closed back in early January of last year and has been undergoing some major renovations ever since, including a full track replacement, updated show scenes, queue enhancements, and more. In fact, another part of the refurbishment has to do with the ride vehicles, as back in late June, we got our first look at what the new train cars will look like once the attraction reopens. If we compare these new, refreshed ride vehicles with the old ones, the changes begin to look a lot more clear. As you can see, the former train cars that guests occupy used to don a bright, vibrant orange, contrasting with the faded, rusted look of the main train at the front. But now, looking at the refreshed version, you'll begin to notice quite a few differences. Starting at the front, one of the first things you'll notice is that the main engine body of the train is a lot more vibrant in color and less weathered. Upon further inspection, this appears to be a deliberate theming decision by Disney, as if you shift your focus to the bottom of the engine, some Fox mud splatters have been added. From a theming perspective, the addition of this mud makes a ton of sense, given the natural vistas that we travel across during the attraction itself, so I think it looks great. Turning our attention to the ride cars that follow behind the main engine, we have probably the most noticeable difference between the old ride vehicles and the new ones. The cars that passengers sit in have been repainted from a bright orange to a much more muted and natural-looking brown, mimicking the color and pattern of rusted wooden planks. This is another deliberate theming decision that I think looks really nice. Seating-wise, the cars themselves seem to have retained the same bench-style seating and single lap bar that riders are accustomed to, so no changes there. The bigger changes come from the attraction itself, as back in August, Disney revealed some brand new details and shared some new concept art to give us a sneak peek at just one of the many changes coming to the attraction. In this piece of concept art you're seeing now, we can see what depicts an updated show scene to the first lift hill at the beginning of the attraction, inspired by the Rainbow Caverns from Nature's Wonderland at Disneyland. This updated show scene will play into the new backstory of the attraction, as when the trains rattle their way underground through the caverns, guests will see phosphorescent pools, shimmering and illuminating iridescent stalagmites and stalactites, and of course, bats perched in the darkness. According to Disney, while the Rainbow Caverns are certainly beautiful, they may not be as friendly as they first appear. As the train traverses upwards, a menacing rumble from deep within the mountain will begin to roar, followed by a loud crack of thunder. This will transform the once peaceful Rainbow Caverns into an ominous cave filled with eerie red light, warning us to get out, and ultimately sending us on our journey through the wildest ride in the wilderness. As of right now, this is the only confirmed show scene change coming to the attraction, but it is expected that we'll be hearing even more details about other changes in the coming weeks, especially for the long-awaited explosive dynamite scene during the third and final lift hill, which can be found at Disneyland. Getting into more construction-heavy changes that have been taking place, we have to quickly recap some of the previous month's work, that is, since my last time covering the Big Thunder Mountain project back in June. About a month later, in mid-July, we saw the completion of envelope testing on the newly refreshed ride vehicles, and push and pull testing beginning. In the context of roller coasters, an envelope test is a test that ensures that scenic elements, such as props and rock work, are out of reach for guests while they're riding. The envelope device seen here simulates the expected reach of guests and is then pulled through the coaster track to see if it comes in contact with anything. Following a successful envelope test, and a push and pull test takes place afterwards, ensuring that the newly laid track is both smooth and safe for the coaster vehicle to ride on. Push and pull testing lasted throughout August, as shortly after that, the massive construction crane used for Big Thunder's track replacement was finally removed from the site, which had been there since early January. Enter the fall 2025 season, and work was fairly quiet for a while, but that was until we caught our first signs of full-speed attraction testing beginning in November. According to these photos captured by Blog Mickey, early ride vehicle testing included large water-filled containers to simulate the weight of guests, marking a major milestone in the refurbishment of the attraction. Finally, most recently in December, construction walls expanded outward slightly, blocking off both the entrance and exit areas of the attraction. As you can see in the following photographs, the entire exit area to the right-hand side of Big Thunder has been leveled and regraded in preparation for new themed pavement being installed. This new pavement will likely be added in front of the attraction entrance in the coming weeks as well. This is all in addition of the nearby grading project currently taking place at the former site of the Rivers of America for the upcoming Cars-themed expansion to Frontierland, but more on that in a future video. Overall, that seems to be everything happening here at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which should be receiving an official reopening date very soon. As one final reminder, while Disney has shared that a reopening timeframe of this spring is planned, it's worth noting that construction permits tied to the attraction's refurbishment have a set expiration date of April 16, 2026. Keeping this in mind, a March or early April reopening timeframe seems the most likely, but only time will tell. But that's not all we have to look forward to this spring, as across the park in Tomorrowland, another attraction is also planned to reopen very soon as well. Shifting gears over to the currently dormant Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and we have some new updates regarding the progress of Magic Kingdom's second attraction refurbishment. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin closed back in early August to undergo some major quality of life upgrades. While not as big of a refurbishment as Big Thunder Mountain, some of the new additions currently in the works include updated handheld blasters and digital score counters for enhanced gameplay. Additionally, a new opening scene is also planned for the attraction, revealed in the following piece of concept art. In fact, last month, Walt Disney Imagineering shared a behind-the-scenes look at the new show scene, which prominently features the new original character, Buddy the Robot. That's not the only scene Disney has refreshed, as Disney has also shared updates that have taken place inside the space tunnel, where brand new, crisp projection mapping has replaced the old. Before heading out into space, one of the green aliens has opened the airlock gate for us to go fight Zurg, with Buzz himself also joining the battle. Disney has also given us a sneak peek at the newly refreshed ride vehicles coming to the attraction as well, donning a new gray, purple, green, and black color scheme that's more representative of the Star Command colors. Visually, there have been no changes that have taken place outside the attraction entrance, as there are currently no construction walls present, signaling that work has only been underway indoors. However, it's worth noting that just a few days ago, a new permit was filed by Walt Disney Imagineering for the installation of new signage, with the address on the permit listed for Space Ranger Spin. While not confirmed by Disney, this is likely indicative of a newly refreshed entrance coming soon before the attraction reopens. If not an entirely new entrance, new attraction signage seems highly likely at the very least. If I have to speculate, I wouldn't be surprised if the new signage matched the same style as the one right outside the Monsters Inc. laugh floor, which debuted all the way back in 2018. The current Buzz Lightyear signage still resembles the old 1990s Tomorrowland spaceport theme that Disney is slowly but surely steering away from, so a new sleek and mid-century sign that matches the rest of Tomorrowland would be great. I'd also personally love to see some exterior and interior queue improvements, but Disney has not confirmed anything just yet. Our only other sign of work happening visually is when riding aboard the People Mover, as when passing through the third tunnel, large black tarps are covering the windows looking into the attraction. Similarly to Big Thunder Mountain, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is also slated for a spring 2026 reopening, but an official date has not been announced. Both attractions are likely to reopen around the same time though, and could potentially reopen on the exact same day. It would be in Disney's best interest to reopen these two popular attractions sometime in the month of March before the spring break crowds begin to flood the parks, but once again, we can't say for sure. Out of both of these attractions, I'd love to hear which one you're more excited to see reopen in the comments below. In addition to upgrades currently underway at Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, there have been a variety of other more small-scale projects happening throughout Tomorrowland, with the most recent of which being the debut of a brand new snack stand called Astro Fizz. For context, Astro Fizz replaced the former Cool Ship snack stand, which closed unexpectedly last year. You may recall that from my previous Magic Kingdom update back in June, the Cool Ship had been completely demolished for unknown reasons, as Disney was working on bringing something new to this area. Well, fast forward to early November, and Astro Fizz, presented by Coca-Cola, debuted in place of it as a new permanent snack stand, serving up popcorn, fountain beverages, and other popular snacks. Considering this is just a snack stand, I have to say that I actually really like this replacement, as I think the sleek mid-century architecture perfectly complements the rest of Tomorrowland, including neighboring structures like Space Mountain and Joffrey's Coffee. Like I said earlier, Disney has continued to slowly but surely revert back to a more clean and timeless Tomorrowland that is very evocative of what the land used to look like in the 1970s, and Astro Fizz is just one such example of this change. Another new Tomorrowland change comes in the form of a new limited-time version of Tron Light Cycle Run, as back in September, a Tron Ares overlay debuted to commemorate the new film. With this new overlay, the canopy, ride vehicles, and inside of the attraction have all been programmed with new red lighting. Music by Nine Inch Nails, the band who orchestrated majority of the soundtrack for Tron Ares, blasts in the speakers while you ride the attraction as well. This limited time overlay has been going on for the past few months now, and according to Disney, is slated to end next week on Monday, January 19th. After this date, the attraction will return to its original version that fans know and love. Our final Tomorrowland update takes us over to the land's oldest operating attraction, the Carousel of Progress. Back in late August at the 2025 Destination D event, Walt Disney World made a surprise announcement that brand new updates were coming soon to the attraction, including the highly anticipated addition of a new Walt Disney audio animatronic as part of a new opening scene. As indicated by this singular piece of concept art, Walt will help set the stage for the attraction by giving a brief monologue to guests, similar to the show Walt Disney: A Magical Life out at Disneyland. Here's the announcement by Disney, quote, "The introduction of a new audio animatronic figure of Walt Disney inside the Carousel of Progress marks an exciting milestone in our shared mission to celebrate the story of the man behind the magic and inspire new generations with his innovations and vision for the future." Walt's own idea from beginning to end, the Carousel of Progress made its debut at the New York World's Fair in 1964, where it was an immediate smash hit for millions of people visiting from around the world. Since then, the show has had more performances than any other stage show in the history of American theater, and has found a comfortable home as a tribute to the original version of the show inside the Magic Kingdom since 1975. Progress and innovation were two of Walt's cornerstone passions, which is as evident in the show today as it was when it first debuted. Before you follow the American family over 4 generations of progress as technology transforms their lives and paves the way for once unimaginable innovations, you'll be able to catch a brand new introductory scene and hear from the legendary man who never stood in the way of progress, Walt Disney. There are still plenty of additional details to be revealed, including what John, Sarah, and the rest of the family are up to. Disney Imagineers love this attraction, and the heart of it will stay the same while introducing the Carousel of Progress to an entirely new generation of fans, showing them that a great big beautiful tomorrow is just a dream away. End quote. With that lengthy description out of the way, that currently remains the only details that Disney has shared with us at this time. In fact, in a recent Disney Parks blog post published last month in December, Walt Disney World gave us a timeline for everything new we can expect to open in 2026, not just at the Magic Kingdom. However, from this list, the Carousel of Progress update was notably missing. While not confirmed by Disney, this indicates that it is probably unlikely we'll see a refreshed version of the Carousel of Progress debut later this year. However, what I do think is likely to happen this year is a closure of the attraction. If the attraction ends up closing sometime later this year, it's estimated that work would take anywhere between 9 to 12 months to complete the update, meaning that a potential reopening the following year in 2027 could be more likely. This is only speculation though, as we have to keep in mind that Walt Disney isn't the only change planned for the show. The 4 primary scenes are also expected to see some quality of life changes as well, especially at the very end, so work could potentially take even longer. As far as when we could see the Carousel of Progress close, realistically, I think a summer or potentially even fall closing date of this year seems likely. At the absolute earliest, I could see a closure planned for late spring, as Disney will not want to close yet another attraction at the park before attractions like Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin and Big Thunder Mountain reopen from their extended closures. Regardless, whenever the updates get underway, they're sure to be very exciting, as this has been a rumor circulating among the Disney community for many years now. One thing I will say though is that I do think it is kind of a missed opportunity to not debut the new update to the attraction this fall in time for the Magic Kingdom's 55th anniversary, as that seems like it would have been perfect timing. In speaking of the Magic Kingdom's 55th anniversary, also announced back at the 2025 Destination D event in late August, Disney shared that at long last, Cinderella Castle will be reverting back to its original color palette later this year in 2026. Now, you may recall that 6 years ago, back in 2020, Disney repainted the castle a rose gold color scheme in honor of the 70th anniversary of Cinderella, and in preparation of Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary celebration the following year in 2021. Work began back in February of 2020 and was quickly completed a few months later in July. And while I personally never minded the rose gold paint job, I think I can speak towards popular opinion, as I do prefer the original color scheme over the current one, so it's great to see that Disney is taking the time to revert the castle back. As shown in this beautiful piece of concept art, the updated paint will feature grays, creams, blues, and touches of gold, aiming to enhance the castle's architecture in a classic and nostalgic way. As far as a timeline for this repainting goes, Disney shared a few weeks ago that work will be starting later this month in January. With that being said, before the actual repainting can start, work will first need to begin by draining the moat surrounding the base of the castle to allow for high-reaching cranes and lifts to start the repainting process. It's important to note that while work is taking place, Walt Disney World has said that they are working to create minimal impact on guests. While guests will see cranes during the morning hours, the cranes will be lowered out of sight by noon each day, creating picture-perfect views of Cinderella Castle in the afternoons and evening hours. Additionally, starting January 28th, there will be temporary adjustments to entertainment utilized by the castle stage, including a modified Let the Magic Begin welcome show. Meanwhile, other entertainment offerings like Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair and the nightly Happily Ever After fireworks show will continue to be presented with minor adjustments. Disney has stated that work on the project is slated to end sometime later this year, but an exact completion date has not been specified. If I had to venture a guess, I believe that Disney is silently aiming for work to be finished no later than September of this year, as the Magic Kingdom will be celebrating its 55th anniversary on October 1st. Considering that the Carousel of Progress update will likely not be debuting by then, having the castle repainted back to its original color palette would be a great and simple way to commemorate the anniversary. I'd love to hear more about how you feel about the work happening on Cinderella Castle in the comments below. That's all for now in today's Magic Kingdom news update, where we discussed everything new you can expect to debut later this year in 2026. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more timely updates like this. In addition to the channel, be sure to also visit the It's a Small Vlog Instagram page and website. The links can be found below. Finally, be sure to also keep a lookout for even more park updates coming soon, especially from Disney's Hollywood Studios and Disney's Animal Kingdom. That's all for now from It's a Small Vlog. My name is Bobby, and with all that out of the way, have a magical day, everybody.